Hi everyone. In today's video, we will look into dynamic Lambda handler. That is how to call Lambda function within another Lambda function. This is Node.js based hands-on exercise. Let's get started. First of all, we will create two Lambda functions and then see how Lambda function can be invoked within another Lambda function. I'm in the AWS management console. I have uh, I have to go to the Lambda console. So I'm selecting the Lambda from the recent visitor list. This is my Lambda console. Okay. Here I have option to create a function. I'm going to create two functions here. So click here to create function. So we are going to author from the scratch the function name. Let me call it like my function. Let me call it my studio function A. Okay, my studio function A. Okay. The runtime is 20. Node 20 is fine. The default options are fine. For the role, in order to, let's say this function A will invoke function B. Okay, so I'll be creating another function. So for that, I need to create a new role. So let me create a new role. And I need to go to the IAM service. Okay, IAM. Here I will find a role. Okay, role. Click role and create a role. Okay, so the service which I need to select is AWS service. The use case is Lambda. Okay, I need to give it a Lambda. So the Lambda is fine. Click next. Permissions we will add it later. Okay, next. The role name I will call it like my studio Lambda invoke role. Okay, this is perfectly fine. Okay, currently I haven't attached any permission set. I will do it later. So I just need a function role name. That's it. Okay. Click here to create new role. New role has been created. Now from here, let us refresh this thing and select the newly created my function invoker role. Let us refresh the screen. So let me add the function name my studio function A. Okay. The execution, use the existing role, select existing role, which is my studio. Invoke. Yes, my studio Lambda invoke role. The newly created role has been selected, and the rest default options are fine. Create function. So we have created function A. Okay. Now let us go and create function B. Get back to functions and create another function. This time my studio function B. My studio function B. Same runtime. We can leave it like default Lambda permission. That's fine. Okay, create function. Or new functions are being created. Okay, function B. The function B is fine. Okay. Now it comes with the default coding snippets, but we need to override it. Let me go to the test. Let us define the event. Okay, the payload that this function will take, like function B. Okay, function B will be invoked in function A. So let us finalize the function B. So function B, the event name is test event. Okay, now Let us do a very simple payload like first name, last name, first name and last name. Okay, value can be Akbar, Majid. Okay. So here I'm going to take a simple payload, like it will take first name and last name. This function will take the first name and last name and then greeting. We'll say some greeting. Okay, that's it. So I have selected this payload, save it. Okay, let us get back to the code. Okay, then now we will receive this event. Okay, so let us receive the first name. If first name equal to event dot first name. Let last name equal to event dot last name. Let greeting equal to, we'll say like hi Uma, then we'll put first name and provide a space, then last name. Okay, now great. Yeah, okay, very simple string. In the response object, I'm going to put the greeting. Okay, so JSON.string file. Let me put the greeting. Send back the greeting. Greeting. That's it. Let's deploy this function. Now our function is being deployed. Let us test it now. Now you see here, have our event is passed, first name, last name. Then the body returns the greeting. Hi, Akbar Majid, have great learning. Okay, that our function is very simple, nothing fancy here, and it has been ready to invoked by the function A. So the function B is ready to be invoked, but however, we need to set up function A permissions. Especially the role that we created for function A need to have a necessary policy so that it can peacefully invoke function B. Okay. Now let us go and set up the policy and add the policy to that role, and so that the function A will have necessary permission. Now I'm still in the AWS management console. Now let me go to the IAM. Okay, we go to the IAM. Now from the side menu, let me go to the policies. Okay, policy. Create. Let us go and create a policy. Okay, the service which I need it for Lambda. Okay, this is for Lambda. Lambda, I need invoke. So the invoke is like write operation. So select right section and select action, invoke function. Okay, and that's it. We still need some more permission, like here the resources we can restrict the access to only the specific on ARNs. Okay, so we have here we need to specify the function B's ARN. Let us find out what is the function B's ARN. Like, let me locate the function B, my studio function B. Okay, I can find the ARN here. Let me copy the ARN. Copied. Then click add ARNs and paste it here. Okay, add ARMs, add it. Okay, great. Now let me add another permission. This time I want CloudWatch logs. CloudWatch, CloudWatch logs. Okay, here I need couple of operations. Especially, I need to have the log group, create log group, okay, and create log stream and put log events. We need three operations, three permissions for which are belong to CloudWatch log. Okay. For the specific, no, I can. We can do it for any in this account, any in this account. That's fine, perfectly fine. Like next, let us give some good name. Lambda invoke policy 7. Let's say Lambda invoke policy 7. Okay, I'm going to click create policy. Okay, now the policy has been successfully created. Now this policy must be associated with that the role which we created. Okay, the invoke role. Yeah, my studio Lambda invoke role. Click here to open this role. Currently there is no policy. Now we need to add the permission. There is option here to add under the permission policies. There is option here to add permissions, attach policy. Here, just search the policy that we created. Yes, Lambda invoke policy. Select. This is a customer managed policy. Add permission. Now that policy is associated with that role. That role is associated with that Lambda function already. If you go to that Lambda function A, Lambda function A. If you go to the configuration, this role Lambda function, if you scroll, you will find Lambda and CloudWatch logs. So this function have a necessary permission to invoke the function B. Okay, we need to edit the code to invoke the function. Okay, let's do that next. So far we have completed necessary resource creations in AWS Management Console. Now we need to create the function. A is a functionality in a local development environment. Let us do it through JavaScript SDK. I will be using Node.js and Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let's continue our exercise. Once we completed the local development, then we will be pushing this function code through AWS CLI to the Lambda function here. Okay. So let us create our project. I'm in the root folder of my course. Okay, let me create a folder here, new folder. Let me name it like my Lambda invoke function. Okay, so this is my folder. I click on this folder. I have a git bash utility, so git bash here. Hit type code dot so that this will get opened in the VS Code. Okay, I have brand new folder. Okay, let me create a new file index.mjs. Okay, new file. Here I need to make this as a node project. So let me go to the terminal. Let me add a couple of commands like npm init -y, so that this will create a node package.json. Okay, here I need to install as I'm going to use the JavaScript SDK. I'm going to install. I need to install it through npm. Okay, so npm install AWS SDK slash client lambda. Okay, this is the package we have to install. Let us save it in there. package.json as well. Hit enter. Our package is currently being installed. Great. Our package installation is successful. Let's go back to the index.js, then we can start working on this file. Okay. Now we need to import the necessary packages. Okay. Lambda client. So I need to refer the Lambda client class. Then I also require invoke command. Okay. I need both classes. Let me instantiate the Lambda client equal to new Lambda client. All right. Now export handler is a function. Const export const handler is a async function. That is okay. Here we need to create the instance of the invoke command. Okay, so let command into new invoke command. Okay, we need to provide necessary params invoke command. The first thing is function name. Okay, we need to specify the function name here. Okay, the second thing we need to mention the payload. Okay, so what is the payload? So the function type I need to copy the function B. Okay, function B's name. My studio function B is what I need to copy. My studio function B. Exactly. My exact function B's name. Okay. Payload. I need to define the payload. Okay. The payload I need to pass the same payload here for the function B. Okay. So the function B will inhale this exactly this payload. So I need to copy this payload and come back to my development environment, and then let my payload is the same. Okay. Let me change the values. For example, Muhammad, the last name is Majid. Fine. Okay. Okay. Muhammad Majid. Okay. This is my payload. Copy this payload and let us JSON dot stringify add this payload. The third parameter is we need to provide the invocation type. The invocation type is this is like request a response. Request response type is a synchronous invocation. Okay, that's it. Now we have defined the command with the necessary params. Okay, now we need to send this command to the client. Okay, so get response. We need to wait client dot send command. Okay, now the response that we received from the function B will be the payload. Okay, the payload will be in encoded format. So we need to decode it here in order to view it. Okay, so let us create an object. So let us define the decoder. Let decoder, my decoder, new text decoder. This type of this is ASCII. Get So we have instantiated the text decoder. Now let us receive the my decoder dot decode. What we need to decode? We need to decode the payload received from the response. Okay, response dot payload. So let us receive it as a result. Okay, we don't need to do anything. We can simply return that result. That's it. Not enough. Okay. So we have done everything, whatever necessary here. We have defined the payload and we established the invoke command where we provide the necessary params, function vname and payload and passing the payload invocation type, and we send it to the Lambda client and we receive the encoded and we decode it. We will decode this encoded payload and the result we will be returning it. Okay, whatever we receive will get back in the greeted state. That's it. Okay, now make sure to save everything. Now let us zip this code and push it to the Lambda console through AWS CLI. Okay, now open this folder in the file explorer, select everything, right click, come to zip file. Our zip is being created. All right, now our zip is ready, index.zip. Now we need to put it, we need to move this to S3 bucket. From there, we need to move it to the Lambda. Okay. Okay. I'm in the terminal. Now I'm going to push this zip file to the S3 bucket. Okay. So AWS S3 CP index.zip. This is the file I need to push. The bucket name is S3 colon // and the bucket name. Yeah, our file is being transmitted. Done. The upload is successful. Now we need to update our function. Okay. Now our function is ready. We need to push this function through AWS CLI. So let's do that. So in the terminal, just type AWS Lambda. Okay. Then we need to type update function code. Update function code hyphen function name. The function name is my studio function A. Okay. Then we need to specify the S3 bucket. S3 bucket, the bucket name is Studio 7 builds. Then we need to specify the key. S3 hyphen key is index.zip. And finally, we need to type -- hit enter. Yes, now our function is being transmitted from our CLI. The code, let us navigate to the Lambda console. Go to the my Lambda function A. You are in the Lambda function A now. Check your code. Yes, congrats. Your new code has been pushed to the Lambda console. Okay. Now let us test this function A invocation of function B. Before testing, there is a small issue that I fixed. My decoder.decode. It should be the response.payload because the response we received from the client will receive the response of payload. Okay, in the response. So we need to decode the my decode.decode. Okay. Now after that, after this change, we can deploy and then test it. Now we are receiving the response from the Lambda function B. Okay. If you notice, the payload is Muhammad Majid, and we get the response. Okay, Muhammad Majid. Okay. Now let us pass the event from the caller function from E. So let us use that. E dot first name and E dot last name. Okay. Now we are not providing, it's not hard coded. We will be passing the event information in this payload. Okay. Now after this change, let us deploy this Lambda. Okay. Now we are ready to test. Now hit test. Now we'll create a new test event. Okay. We'll have a new test event. Configure the test event. The function name. The function in the test event, we will pass the parameter. The first name is Muhammad. The last name is Gibran. Okay. Save changes and test it. Now we get the message. The status code 200. The body. Hi, Muhammad Gibran. Have a great day. Okay. Okay, done. We have successfully experimented how to invoke a Lambda function within another Lambda function. And that's it from my side. Thank you for watching.